Hi everybody, it's Marcy and I'm back. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. I'm so happy to be back. It was great to have a little time off to spend time with my husband and do lots of video chatting with my kids. But I am glad to be back. So not that I did no crafting while I was off, but so it's time for another Dear Julie challenge, and this month is just junk. But there are some new twists to this one. At least to start with, we're not allowed to use any stamps or inks, no stencils, no pens, no paints. I even asked about colored pencils and crayons. No. No washi tape. No lace ribbon trim other than the two, what may be found on the two fabric items you're allowed. So it's going to be fun. And it took me a while to get my head wrapped around it, but I think I've got my head wrapped around it and I'm ready to go. So for my clothing items, I've got an old shirt of my husband's. It's nothing exciting, but it does give me some buttons that I can play with. And it's just sort of an off-white with gray and blue stripes. And then I've got this tablecloth that I actually used, I believe it was during July's Just Junk Journal Challenge. And it's got it's very floral, but it's got gray trim in it, so I'm going to make that work together. So let's move those off and away so they'll be out of my way. Okay. Now, what we can use any packaging, any trash, of course, any junk mail. We can use as many book pages as we want. And I don't have, I think I pulled just, yeah. So, unlimited book pages. And I've just got a couple pulled out right now to remind me that we can do that. Now, as far as trash and junk mail, I've got boxes. This one I've already picked the box I'm going to use for my cover, but this could be good for making tags or cards. I've got some old Joann's flyers that apparently I did not use the coupons for. And I've got a pile over in my stash of a bunch of other stuff. Trash. It's going to be hard for me to I've got this old Dunkin' Donuts bag, and everything I've done, I have tea dyed. Now, it's a little darker than tea, only because when I tea dye, I put a couple of small spoonfuls of instant coffee in just to darken it up, but I don't. My coffee dye always goes too much, so I prefer using tea with just a little bit of coffee. Here I've got an envelope. Actually, I believe this was from Dear Julie, and it had packing tape wrapped around parts of it, so I cut away everything with the packing tape. But I really like the way it looks with the rest of the envelope there, so that may become a page in the journal. I've got all sorts of, well, not all sorts. This packing paper, it came as double layered with a lighter layer and a darker layer, so I just pulled them apart and cut some of that into page size. Here I've got an envelope. I thought this would be good for one of the elements. We have to make a flip-flop, and this is about 13 inches long, so I thought that would be good for a flip-flop page. And then, of course, I when I did my tea dyeing, I kept the parchment paper. I don't know that I will use it, but I wanted to have it in my stack in case I want to use it, because if I don't have it right in front of me, I won't think of it. What else do I have? I have a wad of thread cutoffs. So I've stuck those in there. And I've got a couple of dryer sheets. This dryer sheet was from a load of reds. So I've got this really nice reddish pink. I even kept the paper towels that I used for my tea dyeing. These are actually from an old tea dyeing session. This one is still drying from the current tea dyeing session. So I've just got a random bit of trash type stuff that I've just got thrown over into a bin all its own, just so I can grab it if I need it. Okay, so the book pages we talked about. Trash we talked about. We can use unlimited greeting cards. And I've just got one pulled out because I haven't been through my other greeting cards yet to see what I may want to use. But again, the reminder that we can use them. We can use junk mail, I already said. Book pages, I've already said. Unlimited game pieces. So again, I just pulled out a couple out of some Happy Mail just to remind myself to use them. And playing cards is also included with game pieces, so we can use an unlimited number of those. Envelopes we can use. Used wrapping. One thing I don't think we've seen before in the Just Junk Journal, we can use wallpaper. So wallpaper books, wallpaper borders. All good. Unlimited. We've got, what did I do with them? Postage stamps. Again, I've got a few here. I've got more that I'll be adding to this, but needed to get a start. So got postage stamps. Calendars. I've got, I had 2 happy planners for 2020, so I tea dyed some of the pages and have some white pages, so I can use those. I don't have any of the big picture calendars, but I may use some of these. We can also use, I already pulled out one piece of clothing and my one linen. We can use, let me move these away because we've already been over that. Need to put the postage stamps on top so they don't get lost. Okay, we've been over all of these. We can use either one piece of jewelry or 2 earrings. It can either be a pair or 2 separate earrings. And I think this is the one I'm going to use. I untangled this all last night, and it's already tangled again, but got lots of chain link there, or yeah, chain links there. The beads, as best I can tell, there is wire running through them. I won't know for certain until I start taking it apart, but that could be good for the tassel. So that's going to be my piece of jewelry. Those are more of my happy planner. These were some of the cardboard inserts that had the month on them, and so I just cut that plastic piece off and may use those. The envelopes I've already mentioned, so there's my envelopes. Okay, you can use one book, like if you're making your cover from a book, you can use one book, but you can also use as many book pages as you want from already cut apart books. So I will be using a random variety of book pages, and I'll explain my reasoning for that in just a moment. You can use one gift bag, one gift box. Sorry, my pump is beeping at me. 8 ledger-lined graph type pages. So I've got some of those pulled out and ready to go. Oh, here's more junk mail stuff that it's printed on both sides. I wouldn't want it to go in the journal as is, but I'll explain how I may use those in a moment. And here I've just got more of the packing paper that I've cut off and more junk mail that I went ahead and tea-dyed that might make good backings for stuff. You can also use 8 note papers. And again, I've not pulled 8 out. I've just pulled out a random selection just to remind me that we can use them. And you can use either 8 of all the same, 8 all different, whatever you want. Coffee, tea, avocado, basically plant-based dyeing is okay, but no food coloring, no Easter egg dye, no paints, no nothing like that. So we'll be making several elements. I'm not going to go over all of those, but what I've decided to do is so when I was doing my tea dyeing, I had this white paper bag that I was initially going to put in the journal. I showed you a minute ago, I had a Dunkin' Donuts bag that I'm now going to put in my journal because I loved the way, most specifically, this panel looks. So I'm going to be using this box. I've already cut it down to 9 by 6. It's got a large spine. That's going to give me a large 2 and just over 1/4 inch spine, which I don't really know that I would need for this journal, but I'm going to keep it. So I probably will do certainly 3, maybe even 4. If I need to make them smaller signatures, I can do that, but just to spread everything over the spine. So I think what I'm going to do is I want that to be on my front cover. So when I cover it, I want this panel specifically to be on the front cover. Then what will happen is my back cover will have sort of several varied colors in it, but I'm fine with that. And then I can use the rest of the bag for other stuff. Then on the inside, I've already deconstructed my gift bag, and it had some ribbon handles similar to this, only they were pink. And I put them in the tea. It doesn't seem to be taking real well, but they're drying right now. Just to kind of, they're real pink. Excuse me. So I'll be using this, I believe, on this deconstructed gift bag on the inside of my journal cover. And then the magazine, and this is what's driving everything. I've got this magazine that I had gotten last year, The one time we were able to travel, which was the very beginning of March when we went to see my son, we got home like 2 days before the world started coming apart. And I'd gotten this magazine just to kind of read and look through on the airplane. But I absolutely love it. So everything I'm going to do is going to have this sort of shabby chic, eclectic feel to it, which is why I'm going to be using it. But it's got wonderful, beautiful images in it, just running throughout. I'm pretty well probably going to try to figure out a way, since I've got a nice wide spine, I'm probably going to try to figure out a way to use just as much of this magazine as I possibly can. So that's what's going to be driving everything I do. So my journal's going to be very eclectic, shabby, chic, as flea markets are. That's why we're going to have some tea-dyed stuff. We'll have some stuff that's not tea-dyed, sort of a mix of old and new. And I think I'm just going to cut out this flea market and probably use that on my front cover and just make it my flea market journal. So anyway, that's what I've got going on for this month. Be sure, if you haven't already done so, be sure to join Dear Julie Julie's challenge. The link to her video and how you can join will be in the description box down below. Be sure to come join us. We're going to have great fun, and I can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. So until next time, everyone, please be safe, stay healthy, happy crafting, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.